Hey, welcome back to Star Technology, where in the last video, we got all of this distillation set up. And on my own, I've made these 3 extra drilling rigs, which is providing me with, a lot more oil than before, but not as much as I need, apparently. I mean, I've filled the dynamo. Oh, right, the requester wants me to have 100, which I do. So maybe it'll stop making some, hopefully. I guess I need to keep giving it more. I don't know. Either way, I'm now producing fast enough to keep up with the demands of the dynamo. So this will now give me a lot more energy, because I'm making more fuel than I need, and it's outputting at 100% right now. I don't know why, but it is. And also, I've fiddled with the upgrades, so now, instead of... what was the other one? Instead of the auxiliary reaction chamber, I just have 3 of the multi-cycle injectors, because they're just increased fuel energy. So it's just more efficient. It's not as fast, but efficiency is worth more, really, because then I can just chain more dynamos. But that is energy problems solved. So what else do I need to do in EV? Well, there's not much point in solving the energy problems right now until I can use them for EV power. And I'm going to need to start making a few EV machines, but the main thing that I'm going to need soon is the energy hatch, because I think the next biggest advancement to do is the multi-block upgrade kit and the EV energy hatch, so then I can multi-blockify all of my small machines that it works for down here, and I can upgrade them to EV power with the energy hatch. So then all I need is a bunch of hatches instead of making more of these machines. And I think that's going to be a lot easier to do. And there's quite a lot of work along the way. I'm going to need these phosphorus-doped wafers to get new chips, and to also just make the other chips much more efficient. And I'm going to need a new assembler so I can get the emerald mesh and all of those new materials. I think I might do the emerald mesh first. And the advanced assembler, I don't think that'll be too hard. Let's see, I can make quite a lot of that stuff already. Titanium plates. I really should just make a recipe for this now. That'll make me all of this core stuff for the assembler. The robot arm's probably going to take a few things, so let's see the conveyor module first. This'll be a lot simpler. I could probably make a recipe for an EV electric motor. Maybe not. I'm finally going to start needing neodymium. I have a lot of excess neodymium, because you might have seen I just fully upgraded all of the coils to this. Now that I'm not worrying about the electrical connectors, I can just upgrade them. So I did. And I made way too much neodymium. And if I'm going to need it for EV stuff, then so be it. So how many of these electric motors am I going to need? 4 for the conveyor modules, and I think another 6 for the robot arms. So that's a lot of stuff. And it's just mentally a lot simpler if I just make some recipes for this. And most things here are reasonably simple. It's the magnetic neodymium. I can make the rods easy, and I can polarize the ingots easy. And then in the blast furnace, oh, I need magnetic dust for helium to work. But it's so long in the blast furnace. Oh wait, no, I don't need it to be magnetic for helium to work. But I don't have an easy way to get helium right now. Maybe I do. Refinery gas. That could work. It's likely more efficient if I try and crack it. But I have so much excess gas, I may as well just pump it all into its own distillery to make helium. But maybe I do want to bother doing the more efficient method. I don't have room in the cracking setup though. I mean, you guys were telling me that I should have made a cracker anyway. And helium is likely an important thing in future. I don't have time to be setting this up right now. I will just deal with slow neodymium for the time being. Okay, can I now just ask for... I think I need 10 motors? Yes. I need cantha dust. I don't have a recipe for that. I think the mix is full. I'll just replace it. And there we go. Now I can queue up cantha ingots. Or cantha dust, rather. This is going to take a very long time in the blast furnace. May as well get it going. Okay, what else do I need for this? I'm going to need a lot more aluminium cable. I may as well preemptively make a bunch of that. And why not just store a bunch of rubber sheets? I need them so much anyway. That should cover the conveyor modules. And for the robot arms, I need 2 more EV circuits and 2 electric pistons, which shouldn't be all that bad. I'm going to need a bunch more titanium rods, and then a small titanium gear. Simple enough. I really should invest in an extruder, but I can't think of an easy way to use it until I can get the multi-block version. Right, so everything should be on its way. The electric motors are going to take a very long time. I need to wait for all that canthal and neodymium. Well, if I'm already waiting, I'm going to need to make that emerald mesh, and I want 4 of them, right? So I'm just going to have to go through and get all of these meshes. I have spare diamond meshes. I don't need to make the meshes. I just need to get the emerald dust. And I can use it as an excuse to get rid of some of my spare things. And with just some of my spare emeralds, I have exactly enough to make all the meshes I need. That's a fun coincidence. Well then, how am I going on the assembler? I'm waiting on the magnetic neodymium? I need an HV polarizer. That is not that hard at all. There we go. Swap that over. Yeah, it's making the electric motors now. Okay. I should have all the stuff I need for the 2 conveyor modules. And if I get 2 pistons, I have everything I need for the robot arms. And with the spare, Advanced Assembler 3. So now I need somewhere to set this all up. I think for the time being, I don't need this here anymore. Or at the very least I can move it. And I'm not going to have very many EV machines right now, so I don't need too much space. And I can always just move this. And there. That's everything set up to power. And I should just be able to make those meshes. It's going to take a little while though. So I can also make those auto sieves. Okay, there's the mesh. I'm just waiting on the sieves for a little bit. Oh, and I might... Yeah, I'm going to need more drawers. How much more? 2. Because there is not all that much that I get out of this. Hang on. I'm not using the diamond mesh for dust or sand. Could I just hijack these sieves for emerald? Because I only need 2 emerald meshes. I think so. And that saves quite a lot of logistical hassle. There we go. That just kind of works. I think I am going to need to fiddle with some of these upgrades. Right, now to deal with the drawers. And I'll also just get the upgrades I need. Where's an easy spot for me to put these drawers? I can probably just loop this around a bit. And stick them on there. Give them all the upgrades. And then I'll put the ores in before I link them. Just so it doesn't fill up instantly. And I'll lock them. Right. I think... Why are these in almost like a separate shape? I don't know. I think they're linked to the storage controller. And it looks like that might be the case. I think these numbers are going up. Yes. The Bastonite just increased. Okay. So they're linked. So now I have the new resources. Oh, to get the EV energy hatch, I need to go towards tungstensteel. Do I need the RTM alloy? I hope not, because that's going to take a very long time. I just need tungstensteel. Okay. Well, then I may as well work towards tungstensteel, because I'm guessing... Oh, it doesn't actually take that long in the blast furnace. It wants helium, though. Maybe I should get helium. 50 seconds isn't that bad. I can manage that. I'm not going to need too much. Well, let's see. What am I going to need to get tungsten steel? Presumably tungstate. And that is one of the ores I get. I need scheelite as well. Just for the quest more than anything. I'll put both of them through the macerator. See what I get out of it. And yeah, I need both of them, tungstate and scheelite, to get tungstic acid. Do I? Oh no, each of them can make tungstic acid with hydrochloric acid. Ah, EV chemical bath. How hard is an EV chemical bath? Not that bad, but the pump scares me. It's not that bad. May as well make that now. I mostly just need the titanium fluid pipe and the stainless steel rotor, and that'll get me the pump. I've got motors on the way. And then that should get me the chemical bath. Just gonna have to wait a while. So is there anything else in the process? The tungstate and the scheelite is on the way. That's in the centrifuge. That goes in the chemical bath to make tungstic acid. Then tungstic acid just gets electrolyzed. EV electrolyzer. What do I need for that? Not that much. Maybe because I've already done platinum for other things. Because platinum, I'm supposed to go quite far down this line here. But I already have that. Either way, I'm still just waiting. But then that'll get me the tungsten steel. So let's check out this other line then. Because that's the other thing that I need for the hatch. The MPIC chips. EV cutter, but I need the MPIC wafers. So I'll need an HV laser engraver. That's a lot simpler. In the clean room. With a brown lens. And a phosphorus doped wafer. This only needs the HV cutter. So I need the phosphorus silicon boule. Which isn't that bad. Do I have phosphorus? Phosphate. Which I can just turn straight into phosphorus. And it's a pretty dense source of oxygen too. So I will, without hesitation, make an abundance of this. God knows I'm barely scratching how much I've got. Where did I even get all of this? Ah, electrolyzing monazite. The only way to get neodymium right now. So I've got plenty of phosphorus. That completes that quest. And then, I could do this manually, but, it's exactly 8 buckets of nitrogen. Sure, I'll do this manually. Do I have much spare silicon? I have a lot of spare silicon. Ooh, and I barely have enough spare gallium arsenide. And then a cool trick that I had no idea was a thing. You don't need to click on the fluids with a bucket. You just click on the fluids normally, and it takes a bucket. I've been using this between videos, and it's so handy. How did I not know that was a thing? Right, anyway, this doesn't care which one it goes into. So I'll just stick it all in there. Ah, I think it does care in the sense that it shouldn't be able to spend the silicon. So then I'll put it in this one. Oh, I didn't make the right one. Okay, at what point do I not have any conflictions? Don't do it on 2, and don't do it on 1. So if I set this to 32, yes, it does it correctly. I need to start reading the JEI more carefully. Oh my god, this is taking 300 seconds. I guess I'm still just waiting. Well, while I wait, I need to move the HV cutter into the clean room, and I'm probably going to need to give it a better pattern provider, because then I can store the additional wafer recipes. And then, do I need an EV laser engraver or just an HV? Oh, I need an EV cutter anyway. Ah, the laser engraver was what goes in the clean room. The cutter goes in the clean room too. Okay. But I need an advanced cutter and an HV laser engraver. And the cutter, I have a lot of spare resources right now, but that's because I'm supposed to be spending them on the chemical bath. Yeah, now there's a lot more for me to make. And the electrolyzer's not far off. Just gonna need a bit more platinum, because some of it went missing somewhere. I need more EV electric motors for the cutter and aluminium cables. And an ultimate buzzsaw blade? Oh boy. Ultimate dust? Cobalt, chromium, and nickel, that's fine, but molybdenum? Aha. Purified scheelite. And, oh no, I just get molybdenite. And that can make it. I'll just set that going. And I can come back to that later. I need to make the HV laser engraver. And pretty much everything there I can make. Ah, HV emitter. This one's gonna be tricky. I may as well queue up everything else that I need. Oh. Now I can queue up everything else that I need. And then for the emitter, I can get the HV circuits and the gold cables. And the chromium rods, I can probably do that. I'm gonna need to get some more chromium dust. But then I'm also gonna need an Eye of Ender. And there doesn't seem to be an easy way to do that. Liquid blaze in a chemical bath? Surely I need more than that. I'm gonna assume it's liquid blaze and an ender pearl in a chemical bath. So then liquid blaze, I need blaze powder. How much? 1 blaze powder's worth. I think the easiest way is centrifuging magma cream. Because magma cream, yep. I can make it with slime balls and lava. And I think, Yes, I have done this before, because I needed it for the Reach Upgrade 2. So I'll just get some of that blaze powder. Oh, and that was a quest in Ivy. Okay. So, I need to somehow get blaze powder out of the extractor into a chemical bath. I can do it in the LV extractor, but I need the HV chemical bath. If I put 7 in, it becomes a bucket's worth. I don't have 7 though. Maybe I just get one of these fluid cells? 10 plates. And I really hope this works. No. Why can't I just pick this up? Ooh, wait a minute. I have a very dumb idea. Although actually, now that I think about it, it doesn't... It can be dumber than I was thinking. I was thinking I briefly just remove that wire and just pump it in. But I can do it in an even more dumb way. So I can come all the way around from here. That seems to have worked. And it made the eye of Ender. Anyway, I'm making the laser engraver. So I'm just going to need some chromium rods. And I just need 5 more HV circuits. And I really hope some of these recipes work, because I've been fiddling with it to see if I can fix it. Actually, I think the problem is methanol, because methanol actually requires, or with the recipe I've used, it requires the circuit to be on 3. If I did it with carbon dioxide, I could have the circuit on 2. So I'm going to change this to be a recipe that actually works. I have a bit more faith in that. In the meantime, some of the EV circuits have finished, so I can make the electrolyzer. And then if I make a few more things, I can nearly make the cutter. I just need the ultimate buzzsaw blade. And I have a bunch of molybdenum now, so I may as well make a bunch of this. I'm going to need a bunch more chromium too, and then a bunch of cobalt. And I'm going to have to make the cobaltite myself, or the cobalt rather, with cobaltite. I may as well make a lot of it. If I purify it, I can get some cobalt as a byproduct. But with everything using the macerator, that's going to take a while. But it's still quicker than these HV circuits that I'm trying to get. Okay, I got both things at about the same time. So I'll get the ultimate going, but I should now be able to make that HV emitter, and then need 2 more gold cables, and I can make the HV laser engraver. And this also needs to go into the clean room somewhere. I think I might barely be able to get it to fit here. And I can move the circuit assembler there. I really should get a bigger clean room, but that should be the laser engraver hooked up. And with this ultimate dust, that goes in the blast furnace. I don't need that much of it. Still gonna take a little while, but I only need 4. Can I stick this in my backpack? Yeah, if it's in my backpack, it doesn't hurt me. Okay, I'll just stick it in the vacuum freezer. And then the ultimate ingots go in the bender? Yep, in the bender. And then I can make the buzzsaw blade, and then the cutter. Okay, so now I should be able to just go down the line and make the energy hatch. I shouldn't need to make any more machines. And do I need the EV cutter in the clean room? I hope not. That'll simplify things a lot more. No, only the HV one needs to be in there. So if I get that phosphorus-doped silicon boule that I made probably about an hour ago at this point, that then goes in the clean room cutter. Oh, it needs to have a liquid in it. There we go. That's going to take a while. And then while I wait for that to go, I can take the tungstate and the scheelite and turn that into tungstic acid. If I can get some... Oh, I have a lot of hydrochloric acid. And there's all the tungstic acid. And that I then electrolyze into tungsten. I'm not going to get that much out of this, actually. I'm only going to get about 5. And then I turn that into tungsten steel, of course with steel dust. And that goes in the mixer on 1, I think? No? Oh no. I need an EV mixer. I just need a few more circuits. They're not that far away. There we go, EV mixer, so I can make the tungsten steel dust. And then that, thankfully, can just go straight into the blast furnace. It does take a little while though. So I'll just get that going. And in the meantime, there's some wafers for me to get. So I have the phosphorus doped wafer. So then to turn it into an MPIC wafer, I need a brown lens. So I need brown dye. Most of this is easy. Just don't know how to get, don't know how to get brown dye. Oh, right. I have tons of cocoa beans. So I will just make one brown lens. There we go. So then I should be able to make a bunch of the MPIC wafers. I don't want to spend all of my phosphorus wafers yet, because they are also useful for making the other wafers. And also I'm going to need some for this SOC wafer that it shows in the quest menu. Alright, there's 2 of the wafers. I'll leave the other 2 to just go on their own while I cut these into chips. And these chips take so long to cut. But those are the first 4 of them. That'll be enough for now. I can do the rest on my own. And the tungsten steel is done too. So then I can make the energy hatch. The machine hull, I can do that. Aluminium cable, I can do that. Sodium potassium, I can do that. MPIC chip, I have them. Extreme voltage coil, that's the only thing left. I need the magnetic neodymium rod. I've already got a recipe for that. And fine tungsten steel wire, and that should be it. So I'll just make a recipe for all of this stuff. And then I'm also just gonna move this pattern provider across. So then hopefully, I need some potassium and titanium plates. It's been long overdue that I make this recipe. Then with a bit more potassium, I can craft up the hatch. There we go, it's making it. An EV energy hatch. Oh, that was a huge quest line. And also an extremely important thing to be getting right now. Because now, with EV energy hatch, I can start, well, I can upgrade all of my multi-blocks again. I can re-overclock them. And combined with the multi-block upgrade kit, I can much more easily overclock all of the small machines. I'm not sure how many of them can be turned into a multi-block, but a lot of them can. And all of their multi-blocks aren't terribly complicated. They're all just 3x3s. But they all take a different material, so they're all a bit weird. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be that much work, all things considered. Like the Bender, Burma Bright, might be a little bit of work. Not really. They're all going to be kind of just this, a different alloy that I need a bunch of. But either way, I don't have time to do that in this video. This video was about getting the EV energy hatch. And on my own, I'm tempted to go through, make a bunch more of them, and upgrade all of my machines to take EV power. Because now that I've set up the automation, as long as I just keep making those chips and get some more tungsten steel, I could easily just ask for like 14 more of these, and it'll just do it. I've already got enderium. Ooh, do I have... I don't think I have a recipe for the energy converter, but yeah, that's not that bad. And I do really want the speed. And we have solved the power problems for the time being, so that's not going to be an issue. We'll see. But for now, I'm done with this video. I've been rambling too long now. I just need to finish this video. So, yeah. Satisfied with this progress, I'm going to call it here. Bye.